Hello everyone. Happy Saturday. I hope everyone's having a great start to the weekend. It is Titans time. It's time to get in depth with season 3, episode 12, and I took quite a bit of notes. So let's get started. We pick up right where we left off. Rachel and Gar locate Dick, and he's dead, of course, dead on the street. And of course, the highlight of this scene is Gar's transformation. We got it. Third one in 3 seasons. I guess the thing is 1 per season. Oh boy. But the CGI looked great. The whole thing was really nice. He changes into this small green CGI bat, which gets lumped into a cluster of small black CGI bats. And they literally carry Dick. They lift him up and carry him to the Lazarus pit. I guess the writers took a note from BVS because it's pretty much the same thing when young Bruce gets lifted out of the cave with the bats. Yeah, it's just as silly there as it is here. The only thing I really have to note is I feel that the spotlight on Gar was very much dimmed, and it shouldn't have been. This was his moment, but yet here he is as a small green CGI bat that somehow gets lost in the crowd of black small CGI bats. It's crazy. And I think it would have been better if Gar had transformed into maybe a pterodactyl or some type of bird that was strong enough to carry Dick from the ground to the Lazarus pit. I think that should have been solely on Gar, and the moment was not as impactful as it should have been because it wasn't. But that's just my opinion. So we go from that, we cut to the Batcave. Jason tells Crane Nightwing is dead, and Crane is like, cool, time to move into the next phase of the plan. We're going to destroy Gotham and rebuild it through fear, which, keep in mind, this was always the plan. This has been Scarecrow's plan from the beginning of the season. But now, all of a sudden, Jason wants to back out. Now he is like, I'm not going to help you destroy the city. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Jason, you've been helping him though, for like the whole season. And even when you were in your right frame of mind, you were still complicit in what he was trying to do. So what has changed from then to now? Where was this conversation in episode 8 when you were trying to make amends and you were ready to leave Crane? Okay. So Crane and Jason fight. It's whack as hell. I mean, Jason is stumbling all over the place. I'm like, with your skill set, you should be able to mollywop Crane. Like, not even joking. You should be able to one-up him a little bit. The fact that you are stumbling as much as you are, Jason, come on. And then, of course, he ends up running away. We cut from that. We are with Donna and Tim. They get ready to fight the GCPD. And this is sort of the section of the episode where everyone learns that Dick is dead. So Tim tells everyone Nightwing's dead. Puts the family in the overdrive. They're like, we gotta go. It's time to go. No. But Tim, in his first of many declarations, says, well, no, I want to stay and I want to fight. Tim, you have to think smartly about this. You can't just stay and fight and then you end up getting killed again like the last time. Let's move forward. We cut from that. We are now in the Lazarus World. At least that's what I'm calling it. Dick wakes up and Crane is there as well for some reason. And his whole point in being there is, I guess, to capture Dick's soul. So in order to do that, he tries to emotionally manipulate him, saying, you know, you're a failure. You failed everyone in your life. And you are Jason's real killer. And I'm just like, okay, all right. I can agree to an extent that Dick is a failure. He has failed as a leader and a role model to your team. But there are certain people that show up in this like sequence of events when Crane is calling him a failure. And I don't really agree with it. Like, they show Donna, Jericho, Jason, and Dick's father. I don't agree with Donna, because her death had nothing to do with Dick. Absolutely nothing. Jason, I don't agree with that, and we'll get to that in a second. Jericho, okay. Dick's father, I don't know how he could be a failure to him, because I haven't seen their relationship play out. So I don't really care. And Crane goes as far as to imply that the Joker was an indirect pawn and weapon for Dick to serve as a means to an end, because he's always wanted Jason dead. And then Dick is in the Joker costume and he starts beating Jason with a crane. I'm just like, ugh. This is what I'm talking about with the edgy shit. I really think this was in here just to be edgy, because it didn't serve any purpose. I don't understand how you can put Jason, his abandonment and everything, how can you put that all on Dick? The Titans are culpable. They are all responsible for Jason and his treatment while on the team. You can't put that on Dick. And then to say that he's always wanted Jason dead, that's not true. That's just not true. There have been many opportunities for him to kill Jason this season. He didn't do it. Last season, he tried to save Jason, and he did save him from killing himself. So, again, not true. Oh boy. And we finally catch up with Blackfire. I guess the writers, you know, they forgot that she was supposed to be tying up loose ends. So now she is about to steal a car. And Crypto ends up coming to her and basically leads her to Superboy, who is still poisoned from Dick's lovely decision making. And Blackfire ends up healing Superboy from the kryptonite poisoning, which I saw as a callback to season 2 when Corey saved Superboy. From the moment Superboy wakes up, there's a complete shift in his personality. It's very obvious, and it's a little jarring, and I'll get into why a little bit later. But basically, Superboy is like, you know, screw Dick Grayson, fuck the Titans, how can we be a family, and then you turn around and poison me? Which, period. And
Black Boy, why do I keep calling it?
Blackfire and Superboy decide to team up, and now they're going to head off and tie up Blackfire's loose ends, which, what has she been doing all of this time? What has she been doing? It's been 2 episodes. I think the writers decided if someone's not on screen and their storyline isn't being talked about, that time just freezes for them, because there's no way that Blackfire has been looking for a car for 2 days to tie up her loose ends. There's no way. So now, Dick, you've made an enemy out of your most powerful member, and I don't feel bad for you. Ah, boy. So we're back with Rachel and Gar, my favorite duo. They're watching over the Lazarus pit while Dick is having his moment, and they have a really sweet, endearing moment. It's really nice. Basically, Gar is sort of having an internal conflict because he's having these new changes and he doesn't understand, why is this happening to me, and why is it only induced through fear? I know I can be more, but I feel limited. I feel restricted. It's a budget. So Raven comes in and, you know, consoles him a little bit and basically tells him love is the answer. Love is the answer to everything. Love gives me power, and love is what gave you power. To that, I say, I give an eye roll. It's really corny, but I'm not gonna lie, the actors make it work, so I really have no complaints about that. We're back in the Lazarus world. Dick breaks free from Crane's manipulation tactic, and we're in this forest, and he sort of makes amends, quote unquote, with his father. Like I said, doesn't hold much weight for me because I don't know their relationship. I love how this is framed as a Dick-centric episode. Like the entire season hasn't been a Dick-centric episode. And then, once again, we are an episode away from the finale, and it is focused on Dick Grayson. They did the same thing in season 2 when Dick went to prison and then emerged as Nightwing in the finale. Oh, the writers never fail to amaze me. The highlight, though, of this scene this beautiful, beautiful baby girl comes out of the pathway, and she's like, "Hi, Daddy," and hands Nightwing a balloon. So I'm like, Nightstar? Is Corey and Dick? What's happening? Like, so many questions filled my mind. And then I was like, stop. They're going to disappoint you. Don't get your hopes up. Don't even think there's a possibility of those two having a baby in the future. Don't even think about it, because they're barely friends this season. So how is that going to work? Oh, man. I don't know. But it was a standout moment for me. Dick ends up breaking free from the pit / crane, but he shows up with no super suit. Did the pit take his suit? Don't know. But in true Dick fashion, when he comes out of the pit, he pushes his teammates aside, leaves them behind to go solo and finish off Red Hood, or handle Red Hood. Wonderful. All that revelation that you had in the pit meant absolutely nothing, because you went right back to square one.
Beautiful.
So we're back with Blackfire and Superboy. They're in the lab where Blackfire was imprisoned, and they're gonna kill the scientist who imprisoned her all these years. Again, with Superboy. Complete shift, because now he's just ready to kill, ready to be that weapon. But the scientist is like, wait. Blackfire, I have your ship. Don't kill me, please. So they're admiring the ship, and then Corey shows up and pretty much tells her the truth about the powers and royalty and what their parents did. And Blackfire decides, okay, it's time to go home and reclaim my throne. So Superboy is immediately suspect and immediately like, I'm not with this. I'm not down for this. Why do you want to go back there? And he tries to convince her to stay, but Blackfire ultimately is like, I can't stay here for you. My destiny is on Tamaran. I can't do that. Which, period. Like, this relationship is very fresh. I would hope, and I'm glad that Blackfire didn't throw away, you know, her new revelations for Superboy. And Superboy does not take Blackfire's answer too well. He lashes out, and then moments later, he's tasked with recreating the fuel orb for Blackfire's ship because the original was destroyed. So you can only imagine where that's going to lead. Let's rewind a bit, because I did skip over Donna and Tim for a sec. Donna and Tim and his family, they are getting ready to leave Gotham City, and Tim is still very adamant on staying and fighting for Gotham. And he's just extremely adamant on being the next Robin. And to that I say, why? Like, there's nothing really right now that qualifies him to be the next Robin. I don't know why Tim is just so adamant on it. I don't know. Maybe it's just something he's wanted since birth. Fine. Let's see. Gar and Rachel go to check on Superboy because Dick told him to check on Superboy and meet up with Donna, which, how does he know Donna's alive? Anyhow. And they find the kryptonite on the ground, some green powder. And they don't know that Dick was responsible for what happened to Connor. So I'm wondering how that's going to change the dynamic. It's going to be really interesting when they find out that Dick was responsible. I think that's going to severely change the dynamic. I mean, the trust is already loose as is. It's gone on Connor's end. But with everyone else, it is loose, to say the least. When they find this out, I don't know. I don't know. So we cut to Jason and Dick, who pretty much, I guess, reconcile, quote unquote, in this scene. It's so infuriating because it should have happened in episode 8. Literally, Dick is like, I need your help because you know the inner workings of Crane. No duh. Like, why didn't this happen already? And then Jason is like, well, am I going to be a Titan again? Nightwing is like, no, you'll never be a Titan again, but you can help me save Gotham. That line was pretty much put in there to set up whatever spinoff is going to happen, because I guarantee either Red Hood or Dick is getting a spinoff, which, fine by me. Fine. So we cut back to Superboy, Blackfire, and Corey. And just before Blackfire is supposed to leave, Superboy sabotages her ship by essentially blowing it up. And it was a shock to me. Like, I genuinely wasn't expecting that. And it feels a little unearned. Not him sabotaging the ship per se, but more so this personality shift. Up to this point, the entire season, we have been told anytime we see any sort of negative perception of Connor, his behavior is a little bit negative, his personality, anything, we are told it's the Lex Luthor side. Literally, Connor says that. It's the Lex Luthor side. Sorry to bring out Lex. Like, every single time. We are never shown this side of him. We are only told. Season, if you wanted to show me that Connor can be controlling and possessive, then you should have did that from the moment him and Blackfire got in a relationship. And maybe they did and I missed it. I don't know. Donna and Tim, we cut back to them. They are fighting off the GCPD. Really nothing much to say there. We cut from that and we get to Barbara. I forgot to mention, but she was in jail. I think the writers forgot that they put her in jail. But essentially, she escapes and there's really nothing much to say there. Her scenes were just there. Let's see. Dick and Jason get to the armory, but they're a bit too late because Crane already has what he needs to take over the city, which are his vials of fear toxin. The GCPD wheel it into the Batcave. The implications and consequences of that should be enormous. Literally, the police know about the Batcave. Literally, they know Bruce Wayne is Batman. That should level the city. Like, come on. Like I said in my initial reaction, if all Crane wanted were the vials of fear toxin, then what was the point of you poisoning the water supply, framing the Titans? Like, what was the point of that? It seemed very elaborate for you to get to this simple point. And if the cops have been in your back pocket for as long as they have, they could have did this forever ago. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. A lot happened, and some of it felt really crammed because the finale is next week. I swear, if they wrap up Blackfire's storyline next week, I'm going to be pissed off. I am absolutely going to be pissed off because there's no reason why it should have gotten to this point. She was supposed to be the main storyline, or the second main storyline for the season. She was supposed to be our second antagonist. I thought she was going to take up the second half of the season and be properly fleshed out, her relationship with Corey, her relationship with Superboy, and the Titans in general. And we didn't get that. She's relegated to the background and not given time to breathe. And then it just sticks out like a sore thumb, and it shouldn't. Like I said, I feel duped as a viewer, and I don't know. I have no idea how they're going to end this. We'll see, I guess. That's really all I have to say. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next week. Bye.